A new $800 check for Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, and Medicare beneficiaries. Some new details were just released. I have all the information and exactly what you need to know right here in the video. Let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to focus on some new information I've seen in the headlines as of recently, discussing exactly what their plan is going into 2024 and how this new plan could produce an $800 check for about 65 million low-income beneficiaries who do receive those benefits I mentioned just a minute ago: Social Security retirement, disability, and of course, Medicare beneficiaries. We've got a lot to talk about here in the video, and I do want to hammer all this out for you so you can see exactly what their plan is and how this could produce that check, which will ultimately be very, very helpful for a lot of people. Like I said, 65 million people. Therefore, let's get into it and talk through all the details. Really fast before we do, thanks for joining me. If you have not done so yet, make sure to do yourself a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side every single day to advocate on your behalf and, of course, to keep you updated with what is actually going on as things are changing very, very rapidly right now. I'm doing all the research you don't need to and breaking it all down into these short videos. Also, do me a huge favor. Leave a comment down below and let me know, what can I do to better serve you? What can I do to provide more value to you? And what can I do to better advocate on your behalf? I am here for you. This community is all about you. We've got to stick together right now, and we all know 2024 is all about you. Seriously. I've said that before in many other videos. I guarantee it 100%. 2024 is all about the fixed income and the low income. It's going to be nuts with everything going on. Either way, I want to do whatever I possibly can for you, everybody right here in this community. Let me know down below. I look forward to reading your comments. And again, hit that subscribe button as long as you're down there. And let's get into it and talk about what's going on here, this $800 check, their plan, and how could this check be produced as a result of this plan. All right, so it's a big plan. I'm going to tell you that much, okay? But this is not a new idea. In fact, this is something that's been circling around for a long time. In fact, years and years. However, they're starting to think that 2024 is the year they can possibly get this done. Now, let me explain what is going on. First off, let me ask you, do you think that healthcare costs have increased over the last couple of years? Have they stayed the same, or have they gone down? No, this is not a trick question, and no, I'm not trying to pull a fast one. We all know the answer to that. Up, up, and away, right? Seriously, let's be real for a second. What prices have gone down? Okay, fine. I can think of one thing. Egg prices have gone down. That's the only thing that has maybe gone down. But if we were to look at all prices over the last, say, 3, 4, 5 years, what have all prices done on virtually everything? Up. Seriously, up. That's all they do. Go up. Right? Every single day, we're sick and tired of it. But this is exactly what they're talking about right now, okay? So healthcare costs, as in premiums, co-pays, all kinds of things like this. And of course, just billing. If you don't have insurance, well, that'd be really, really bad because it gets very expensive. Well, that's exactly what this is all coming down to. Now remember, Bernie Sanders and a bunch of his buddies, they want to do something called Medicare for All, or they want to reform Medicare. Now, let me explain the details about this. So, I've been reading the headlines and I've been seeing this information coming out where they're suggesting they think that maybe 2024 is finally the year of the election and possibly the year of really hammering home this idea of implementing Medicare for All, okay? We've seen all this inflation basically taking all of our money over the last couple of years. Nobody has any money anymore because of all this inflation. And as a result of that, we continue to see that, healthcare costs continue to basically take even more money from people. It's getting more and more expensive. And there's a lot more people that are relying on this because, let's be real, there's a lot more people that are drawing on fixed income benefits, and the baby boomers are kind of, getting to that age now where they're starting to draw on Social Security. They're starting to enroll in Medicare. There's a lot of things that are happening right now. A huge, huge percentage of our population falls into this category. Well, now we're starting to see that, we need to implement Medicare for All. At least that's their plan, okay? So let me explain really, really fast what Medicare for All is. It's very basic, okay? Well, it's a complex thing, but the idea behind it is basic. Basically, a single healthcare payer, right? So it's basically just Medicare for all. Basically, rather than all of these different insurance plans and stuff like this, we all have the same one. It's Medicare. We're all on Medicare, right? So basically, they want to implement this universal healthcare across the entire country, like many other countries all across the globe already do, right? Well, they want to implement this here in the United States as well, okay? Like I said, this is not a new idea. This is something they've been playing around with for many years, and they've wanted to do this for a while. Have they gotten it done? No. Why? They just haven't done it yet. They know it's going to be very expensive. It's going to be in the trillions of dollars to implement this, but over time, it may or may not actually make sense. But they think maybe 2024 is finally the time to hammer this down. All right, so sorry, that was kind of a long-winded kind of preface of what's going on here. All right, so let me talk through the details of how this could produce this $800 check. Now, we know this much as well. They also want to reform Medicare, okay? So if they cannot implement this Medicare for all, they said, hey, our backup plan is going to be just reform Medicare and add a couple different services to it, including hearing, dental, and vision, okay? They want to expand Medicare to do all this. So in general, a lot of times, somebody who has Medicare has to have a supplement plan. Now, again, I'm just kind of broadly speaking here. A lot of times there's a supplement plan that also covers a lot of these different things. Not always, but sometimes they do. Mostly vision and hearing is usually covered by a supplement. And things when it comes down to dental, now that's another supplement on top of that. In most cases, a lot of times dental is its own plan in and of itself because it's so incredibly expensive, right? Anyway, long story short, here's what it comes down to. They continue to say, okay, the plan is Medicare for all. If we can't pull that off, let's at least expand Medicare to include hearing, dental, and vision so that we can actually get that hammered down. And then we'll try to, take another run at this Medicare for all thing at some point again in the future, okay? But here's where this $800 check comes in, okay? We already know this. They want to expand Medicare for hearing, dental, and vision. However, they already know this. They've basically thrown dental out of the plan. Why? Dental is so expensive, right? Dental is very expensive. I've talked about that before in other videos. It's very, very expensive. If you don't believe me, call your local dentist and say, hey, how much would it be for a cleaning and exam? You'll probably get an answer somewhere between $200 and $350. It's crazy. Just for them to basically sit in your chair, scrape up your gums and make your mouth hurt a lot and make it really unpleasant for like an hour, and then they basically charge you with a huge bill of hundreds of dollars, right? I mean, seriously, who enjoys that, right? Oh, by the way, they're sitting there breathing in your face the whole time, right? So anyway, that's what it comes down to. So they basically thrown dental out of this plan, okay, as in the expansion of Medicare. Well, as a result, they said, hey, let's have a little concession for the beneficiaries. Rather than just stiffen everybody like we always do, let's just throw in a little $800 check where they can use this to go spend it on dental procedures and dental coverages in their local area or wherever you want to do it. Basically, they're saying, well, we're going to throw dental out, but we'll keep hearing and vision in. But instead of giving dental coverages, we'll give everybody on Medicare, by the way, it's about 65 million people. They said, let's just give them a one-time $800 check / prepaid debit card. Now, when I say $800 check or prepaid debit card, that's kind of still up in the air right now. They've said it a couple different ways. Well, we could do an $800 check, but then how do we know it's going to be spent on dental procedures? We don't, right? I'm not sure about you. I'm not spending it on dental. Well, I'm not going to tell them that, right? Which, by the way, I'm not advising anybody what to do here. I'm just simply saying if they just give us a check, that's what they're trying to say is, well, we don't know what's going to be spent on dental. You're right, because it's not, right? For most people anyway, it's not going to be spent on dental. It's going to be spent on food that we get to chew up with our dental, right? How about that? That's still dental, right? I don't know. Again, kind of stretching the rules a little bit. But again, don't take advice from me. I'm just simply saying this is just kind of, what they're saying is that we don't have any way to track it. But they've also floated this idea of potentially giving out a one-time prepaid debit card of basically $800 loaded onto it, and you're supposed to use it at your dental office to get procedures done like a checkup, a cleaning, I don't know, whatever else they do there, right? But again, $800 is nothing. That's like maybe a couple exams and a cleaning, maybe like 2, 3, maybe if you're lucky, right? But again, this is the whole idea behind it, is the concession for throwing out dental out of Medicare expansion and keeping in hearing and vision in there, but throwing out dental because it's so incredibly expensive. They know that if they can just throw out dental and give out a one-time $800 card or check instead, they're going to be way ahead at the end of the day. Well, they're right, because it's very expensive, right? So they know this. So that is where that comes down to. So what do we need to watch going forward? Number one, 2024 and what they plan on doing with this Medicare expansion, as in, do they kind of go for a run at this Medicare for all? I bet they bring it up. Can they do it? That's the big question, okay? I would anticipate there's going to be a lot of kicking and screaming. I guarantee you that much when it comes down to this, okay? So number one, I will need to continue watching for you, and I will. I'll continue to keep you updated on this. We will continue watching the Medicare for All plan. Will they do it? Well, that's a good question. We don't know yet, right? But I guarantee you they will bring it up. Now next, if they can't get that hammered through, which realistically, it's going to take a long time to get that done. If they do not do that, then the secondary plan, the backup plan, is Medicare expansion. If they can't do that, well, then we're right back where we are right now, which is nothing, right? They've done nothing. So then no harm, no foul, I guess. I don't know if that's the right saying, but my point is if they can't get any of those done, we're just right where we are. Nothing has changed, right? But if they do get something done, well, then it's all better for the beneficiaries. Maybe, right? That's a big maybe. We don't know yet. Maybe they jack up the premium. Well, then again, that doesn't help us at all, right? But again, this is where this $800 check comes from. So again, long story short, well, I shouldn't say that. It's long story long. I apologize. I try to make this as quick as I can, but at the same time, you still got to understand a little bit kind of the background behind this, because you kind of got to know, like, what's the plan here? Like, are they just issuing a check? Well, no, it's not quite that. It's all coming down to what their plan is and how they move forward with Medicare expansion. That's what it comes down to. So hope that makes sense. But either way, I want to bring this to your attention really quickly. I've seen this in the headlines as far as their plan for 2024. We all know it's an election year, and they're going to be introducing all kinds of stuff. And if they can't get it through, guess what? They're going to point the finger at everybody else and say, it's their fault. It's not our fault. It's everybody else's fault that we didn't get this done, right? That's what they do every single time. So anyway, I'm going to continue watching it. Who knows what they'll do here? But we know this much. 2024, it's going to be very, very busy with all kinds of stuff the entire year leading up to that election in November. So anyway, hope this helps you. Again, leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. The big subscribe button right down below the video. Otherwise, hit the like button. Share the video with your friends, family, social media. Leave your comments, your questions, feedback. Go back and check out the other videos here on the channel. And whatever else you want. That's about it. Have a nice day. Hope this helps you. And again, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Enjoy. Take care. Thanks again for watching. Truly appreciate it. And I'll catch you again later.